short right now. There's a right uppercut by Dana. Jackson keeps, gets it, and goodbye.
To be champions and we deserve this. We rose to the moment and here we are.
Welcome. December the 27th. It is going to be our last day for our last show for the year. Welcome to the Long Distance Playbook. Got my boy out there in Italy, Jay. And then we got Chris, my co-host. And Jeff, unfortunately, he's taking care of some personal matters today. And
not bad personal matters.
Not bad personal matters. But he will not be able to join us. However, don't fret, we have his picks. So, start the show off with honors of the week. We have Mark Aguirre. His number is being retired by the Dallas Mavericks. That is a huge honor, right? Because that means you had an impact in that organization, in the league.
Yeah, but well, the big thing is a lot of people don't know he played for Dallas. He was drafted by Dallas. He played there for 8 years as their leading scorer, and then was traded to Detroit. That's what everybody remembered Mark Aguirre.
They do remember Mark Aguirre in Detroit, but Dallas has jumped on that and said, well, we're going to retire his number. So congratulations to Mark Aguirre. All right, we're going to move on to our lightning round. So typically at this point, we would talk a little bit about some soccer. But Jeff's not here today, so we're going to save it for him. If y'all got something, we could talk about it.
Well, somebody got their teeth knocked out.
Oh! Oh!
Or better yet, got their jaw broken in 2 places.
Okay. So we're moving over to boxing.
So Jake Paul, who everybody, kind of know.
Yep.
A lot of times he has been doing these boxing matches, celebrity boxing matches.
Yep.
And now he's gotten into, trying to say he could be a champion in boxing.
Mm.
And he fought this last weekend, he fought Joshua.
Yep. Anthony Joshua.
And it's kind of funny because when you go back to him when he boxed Mike Tyson had a chance to put the finisher on him. And he froze. He didn't do it.
No.
So they played that game. Joshua gave him that business. I wish I could put the clip up because he was rocking him.
Absolutely. Look, real quick, Jeff, our co-host, is not here. Just sent me an email giving his thoughts about the boxing. He said, I'm glad Anthony Joshua broke Jake Paul's face, a fake boxer who has been given a lot without putting in the work of real boxers. When he fought a real boxer in or around their prime, he got his jaw broken. AJ let that fight go, and you could tell after the 4th round, he decided to go to work. That's huge. Jay, what's your thoughts on this?
I think it was quite unfortunate that AJ let him go this long in the fight. To me, it seemed like they had opportunities And in the boxing world, there's always that saying, this boxer is carrying this other boxer in the ring, because for whatever reason, whether it's there's more money to be had if the fight goes longer, or if there is a rematch, they can say, "Oh, he went this amount of rounds with him, so he has the opportunity to beat the opponent." So for me, you could see, just because you work out, just because you jab in the gym with your followers, the followers, they ain't going to help you move when that big right hand coming and hit you in your face. So it was clear and evident that there's levels to this game, and that's why, and we've seen this before from other athletes who, from Ed Too Tall Jones to Le'Veon Bell. There's been other athletes to try to get into the ring and get knocked out very quick. And we hadn't seen this with Paul. And maybe the reason why we haven't seen this with Paul is because, there's arrangements and agreements. And basically what we're seeing are glorified sparring matches. And I agree not to knock you out. You agree not to knock me out. So that's my take on it. Was, what? Let's go ahead and put this to bed. And we call it Sideshow Bob got put to sleep.
Yeah, I think it's that it's like a celebrity boxing.
Oh yeah,
guys. Yeah, he's trained, but he's not. He ain't got I've been boxing since I was 13 type training.
Right.
And you got a guy who was way too big for him. Number one, he way too big. He put on the wrong pants that morning. He could have put the little kids' pants on, because he got treated like that. He put them hammers on that man. So
he was I wouldn't necessarily say cocky. I mean, yeah, a lot of people would say he was cocky. But I would say Jake Paul was confident going into the fight.
Oh, he can be confident. Everybody goes, look,
which is a good thing.
If I'm gonna pick a fight with a bullet,
you better be confident.
You better be confident. You better be confident,
because if not,
this ain't gonna take long.
No,
I think he realized after that first punch that he was really getting hit.
Yeah.
We talking about a boxer who's definitely still in his prime.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, this is the lightning round.
Look, Jake Paul, I'm not sure how much money he made off this, but he made a lot.
A lot.
All it is a money grab. The whole thing is a money grab.
Absolutely.
Everybody tuned in to see if he was going to get knocked out this time.
Yep.
And guess what?
He did.
He did.
But my understanding is Anthony Joshua's a little upset, right? Because now he's being taxed on his winnings in the U.S. and in the UK.
Wow.
Both places are trying to tax him on his winnings.
Well, that's going to be kind of tough. You're going to pay taxes one place or the other.
Right. Sure. Absolutely. You're going to pay something. But, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with him paying taxes on both locations, right? So that's something that we're going to have to see. Do you think, and I've heard something about Anthony Joshua now against Fury. Is that in the works?
I know he put it out there that he wanted to see him. Now, whether or not Fury wants to see him, that's up to him. But Joshua, he definitely wants to fight Tyson Fury.
Okay. So have we heard any response yet from Tyson Fury?
No.
No.
I
think they gotta find him first. you gotta find him first.
Tyson Fury is that's a hard man to find to be as tall as he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And wonder how much he weighed.
Would that be a fight that lots of people would be interested to see?
Of course. Now
Okay.
they might initially say yes, but then once they see what Tyson Fury, if he's okay, but if he's put on 30, 40 pounds, it might be something that people might shy away from.
Okay.
Yeah, he just gonna have to go back into the boxing regimen and shed a lot of that weight, get back down to close to his fighting weight. Plus his age. Gotta remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a certain age, you can get down to that weight, but your body is not gonna want to deal with that punishment.
Absolutely.
Well, and also what you were saying about the weight as well. When you get up past a certain age, it's hard to get off too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
all right, Chris, you got anything else for us?
Well, we got the NBA going. It's after Christmas now.
It is.
that's a shame.
We had some good games this past week. Over the holidays that we still are in. You had Miami beating Atlanta.
Yeah.
Charlotte beating Orlando. Now here's one.
Mm-hmm.
The Bullets blowing out Toronto. Oh, sorry. No.
That's all right. He's showing his age.
That just shows you when the last time they had a decent team.
Yes, they have been relevant.
Not wrong.
Boston, well, that should have happened. Boston beating Indiana.
Yeah.
That should have happened. Indiana without Halliburton they're lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're really lost. Chicago beating Philly by 7. That's kind of a surprise.
Look, here's one of the games I observed over Christmas, and it was the OKC.
Well, if you'd have been patient, I would have got that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Lord, Jesus, jumping the gun.
My bad.
Milwaukee losing to Memphis. That's an actual surprise.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I think Milwaukee's having a little tough time right now trying to figure out who's going to be their second scorer.
Yeah, but I would say that by the deficit, it was surprising. Yeah.
Phoenix beating New Orleans. I think Phoenix is starting to look a little different. They're playing different than normal, so now they don't have Durant. Here's another surprise: Utah beating Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
That went down to the wire. You got the Clippers beating Portland. That should have happened. And then OKC. Good old OKC.
Yep.
I think they took a loss this week.
They did. I think we talked about it last week about can their record can Jay, you brought it up. I think it was you, Jay, if I'm not mistaken, about can they catch Golden State's record. At this point, I'm gonna have to tell you, nope. That is long gone now.
Yeah.
They
got San Antonio on their schedule more often. They just can't beat San Antonio. So just them alone, that's a problem.
Look, it's not long gone now.
They had what, 7 losses?
They got 5 losses.
They had 5 losses right now?
They only got 5.
Okay. All right.
And they lost to San Antonio 3 times now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but I'll say that regardless of what OKC's record is, that shows you come playoff time, if OKC is still stuck in that grind against San Antonio might take it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
but hold on, don't look. They might take the West. You got the Knicks, man. The Knicks is balling right now.
Oh, I'm not taking anything from the East, but what I'm saying is OKC, at the beginning of the season, we all thought OKC was who was going to compete against OKC. Now we're looking at it like, okay, San Antonio's competing with OKC. So on the West, who's going to compete with San Antonio and OKC?
Well, you got you only talking 2 teams.
Well, yeah.
And everybody has their kryptonite. So far, OKC looks like their kryptonite is San Antonio.
Right. And which means OKC doesn't want to see them.
But you might have, just Houston, who might be San Antonio's kryptonite. So it's a possibility they may not even run into each other in the playoffs because of that one little statement. But you got, you got other teams.
You mentioned Knicks on the East.
The Knicks is balling.
Mm-hmm. I like New York, Detroit.
Yeah.
Even though they recently took an L. I mean, they've exceeded expectations.
Well, they got that young man in the middle down there in Detroit.
Yes.
And that young monster is a monster. He built like a monster. That dude is built like a monster. He ain't built like a 25-year-old kid developing his body. His body is developed.
Right.
He's not Wemby's built. Definitely
not.
No, absolutely not. Even Chet Holmgren.
That joke got muscles on him. His game is evolution line. He just went from last year being a rebounder and a dunker. Now he got a midi game. That's kind of a tight little niche there. Right. So.
No, I got you. Besides NBA, you got anything else on basketball in general, Chris?
Well,
go ahead, Jay. Yeah.
Have y'all been noticing the fall of the Lakers? The Lakers have been kind of stumbling.
Yeah, they got a lot of injuries. Don't get me wrong. LeBron's probably the best in shape athlete in the NBA. Right?
Okay.
But age is gonna hurt him.
Yep.
He can't go 48 minutes.
No.
Not no more. And you got Austin Reeves, who's now injured for the next 30 days. Actually, he's been hurt, but he's been more consistent on the court for the last couple of years. Is Luka. So the question is whoever's in, how they going to keep that motion going with everybody getting injured, sitting out. They got to do time management.
Yeah.
They really gonna have to manage their playing times.
Well, I think this is where coaching, their coach JJ Redick. I think this is where because to me, you can have a team full of great players, right? And it really takes a lot off the coach, But when you start getting those injuries and you got to infiltrate the bench players and everything else, right? To me, that's when coaching really matters, right? Because how do I limit my guys? How long do I limit them? When do I pull them from the game or whatnot, right? That's the coach's decision. And JJ Redick's got to really start coaching.
Mm. Yeah, that is true.
So
them losing to Houston like they did on Christmas Day, should fans of the Lakers, should they be worried?
No, I wouldn't say that so much. Worry is not. It's still too early. Hey, he's always there to shoot.
I would agree with Chris. I wouldn't say so much worried. It depends on the injuries.
Right? Yeah, it depends on how the team chemistry is after. Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. After All-Star break, now you start to worry what you look like. So they got roughly about 30-some days. And then after that All-Star break, if your team is not where it's supposed to be, you're gonna see some things happen. Well, yeah, of course. You got if you had LeBron on the wing, he's not as young as he used to be,
Yep.
and you got to remember they got a big man now.
Yeah.
Aiton
Yes.
is a big man. He's not a big man that floats to the 3-point line.
No.
He
No.
occupies the paint.
He's a big man. Absolutely.
And that does hurt your team if your team is built on penetration.
Yep. It can.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right. They might need a defensive wing. Oh,
So-
I don't think he's soft. I think he's a good. Hey, he does his job. He's a double machine. You might want to go check that. He ain't soft. This ain't the '80s, and where you come in the paint, you might end up with stitches.
That's what I was going to say, Chris, was, you know what? He says he's soft, a big man, but in this generation, he's playing as other big men are playing. The only real enforcers that we're talking about here is Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks. They're the only ones that are like in that mold.
Everybody else look how many times Draymond been ejected, teed up. The NBA has gotten soft.
yeah.
So they're playing within the rules. I get it. You do want to see some physicality.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see. You don't want nobody to get hurt doing that physicality.
Right.
So
yeah, Bam and Mike. He's probably as close as you get to a strong big man in the league.
Now
Everybody else. Go ahead.
Maybe Giannis though.
No, Giannis is playing around the perimeter.
No, I mean I got that, but I'm talking about
that's what Aiden's
size.
there for, is to protect the rim.
Yeah, he protects the rim.
He protects the rim. He's not. You might be a Laker fan. I don't know. I am not. I'm just an analyst. But I don't think that he's not a rim protector.
No.
He blocks shots.
Yep.
He rebounds. He does everything he needs to do. He's not affording himself to want to be a scorer.
Okay.
He gets his points off rebounds, alley oops. That's what you want. Look at JaVale McGee.
Mm.
How many rings that man got, and all he can do is dunk and block shots?
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's about playing your role. Everybody's meant to be a scorer. Not everybody's meant to play defense, unfortunately.
Hold on.
Because we clown some of them.
Hold on. When was the last time there was a great true center that was a scorer?
I'll wait.
Patrick Ewing.
No, it was Shaq, actually.
Well, yeah, okay, Shaq.
But
Dwight Howard, early Dwight Howard, right?
Yeah, I would give it to early Dwight down in Orlando.
yeah,
And
I
then,
mean, you could.
and then
that's all. But hold on. Here's the one difference, right?
Yeah.
Dwight couldn't shoot.
No.
Period.
No. He was straight dunking.
Shaq at least had a baby hook.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Paul Gasol.
No, he wasn't a dominant one. He had to play within the role. He had to play within his role.
Yeah.
Okay. Amari Stoudemire.
Oh,
He's a dunker.
Phoenix. So
They played the same. They played in the same time frame. So would you rather have Amari Stoudemire or Shaq? I'll wait.
Prime Shaq.
it depends.
Exactly.
Not Phoenix Shaq.
What was Shaq? Was Amari in Phoenix when Shaq was in LA, or when Shaq
He was
left LA?
he was
Did they
in
play
both.
together?
No, they didn't
No,
play
no, they
together.
didn't play together.
Okay, I
They
thought they played together.
but
No, they may have because Shaq did spend a year in Phoenix.
yeah, but that was that back in his career, and I
Yeah.
think Amari has gone to New York.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look all that up.
But you gotta remember, he won championships in LA,
Yeah,
right? That was the early 2000s.
yeah.
He
3.
won and he won championships in Miami.
He won
One
one.
in Miami. Yep, with D Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Amari was in the league, sir,
Yeah.
because that was
Yeah.
during the time
You're right.
Steve Nash was getting the back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So you talking about who would you rather have,
Oh, Shaq.
and you throwing Amari out there like he's going to be a contestant. Look, the next contestant on Price is Right, and he ain't beating Shaq. He couldn't handle Shaq in the paint.
No.
Shaq was the one who changed the NBA, and then once he retired or Father Time really caught up to him,
Yeah.
you ain't have to have 3 centers on the bench for fouling purposes only.
You're right.
They come in the Hacker Shack. He invented a foul strategy. It was the hacker.
So of course,
He literally didn't have to have the ball, but if time permitted, they were fouling him to put him on the line so they had a chance to get back in the game.
so that's my point.
Yeah.
So when I say when was the last time you had a prime scorer
Right.
that was a center?
Right.
It was Shaq,
Yeah, it would be Shaq.
a true center, not your Giannis who floats around.
Right.
I thought Parker Saw was a true center.
No,
But he wasn't no prime scorer.
He was a forward too, though.
Okay, he might be
No.
a forward, but
The
Saw was
closest-
25.
Look,
Well,
the
he
closest
was-
you,
No, so the closest center after that would be Mark Gasol, though.
yeah.
So you could say, I guess, Mark Gasol from Memphis.
Well,
Because
he didn't score that much. It was Zebo. Zebo did all the work in the paint on the offense side.
Yeah.
But you got, the closest you're going to get is probably Jokic, and he's playing point center.
He's
Points.
playing something. He's on another level right now.
I'm trying to rack my brains to try to figure out a true center that basically was their first option as a scorer. And it's not
There
anymore.
is no other than Shaq. Even Dwight Howard wasn't the first option.
In
They
Orlando,
they shot threes. They was a 3-point shooting team and let him run on the paint.
who
Okay.
they had then? Hito Turkoglu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a good team that was shooting.
Yeah, Brian Shaw, right? Wasn't Shaw
Yeah.
there then?
No.
Was
He was
Dennis
a coach.
Scott there? Dennis Scott was there with Shaq, not with Howard, right?
Right. Dennis Scott was there with Shaq and Penny.
Well, we talking about with Dwight Howard, not
Yeah, we're
Shaq.
talking about. Yeah, but he's trying to think of Orlando players, and because Shaq and Penny,
You talking about the
that
original?
team did good.
Oh, they had.
Now
Nick
he's trying to figure out
Anderson.
who's on the play on the Orlando one.
They had
No.
a good team.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to differentiate.
Skiles.
Yeah. But let's keep moving. We can talk about this all day. We got some college basketball, right? These
Yeah.
guys fighting and trying to make themselves a name to get to the NBA.
So here in college right now, college is it's still in its early development,
It is.
right?
Mm.
Starting next week, and in some cases, the conference play has started.
Yes.
Right now, you're gonna see where the boys. Okay, hold on, time out. We got to go back because somebody just dropped the bomb. DeMarcus Cousins. Boogie was a monster in the paint. I forgot about Boogie.
Yeah.
He was a monster in the paint. All right. But anyway, back to college. right now you didn't had, I think, what, 5 different number ones this year in college basketball. No, I'm almost sure. You done had, now it's Arizona. You done had Michigan.
Yep.
You done had UConn, Duke. All these teams been sitting. Houston, Michigan State was up there. They all sitting up there. It's like right now nobody wants to be number one. You know, and that's not a bad thing.
Right.
You know, college is all about momentum going into March Madness.
It is.
We can talk about the greatest scorers in college right now.
Yeah.
But right now that list is so long.
It is.
You know, not just every team, you know, except your Dukes and your Arizonas. And actually now Kentucky's back into the top 25.
Yeah.
You know, they got premier players on these teams.
Does any team stand out to you? Does any team surprise you at all? Jay?
I would say
Chris?
Iowa State. Iowa State surprises me.
Iowa State's have been a power for a while.
But they're surprised. But to you, right? They're surprised to you.
What's the surprise? Let's go there.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure Iowa State hasn't made the Final Four or Elite Eight the last 5 or 6 seasons, right?
You're probably right, but that's not a surprise. So here's the thing:
They made the playoffs.
they made March Madness, and they've been a high seed every time they make. So you can't say that they're a surprise,
Right?
What you're surprised?
Well, they're surprised to him.
Well, I get that.
I've never seen them ranked number 3 before.
I'm just questioning his reason.
Absolutely.
Right?
Iowa
Right
State
now.
Okay, go ahead.
Right now, there are not many teams in the top 20 except Georgia. That's a surprise.
You think Georgia's a surprise?
Georgia's a surprise.
Well, Georgia had a good year last year, though, too.
They had a good year. But they never was cracking the top 25.
You're not wrong. They had a good year, but now they're trying to build that, right? So, I mean, what to me?
Then you got to look. Watch this.
Go ahead.
Another one is Vanderbilt.
Yep.
Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Those are what. Those two teams are surprises. Yes, they're in the SEC.
Yep.
I can hear my head ringing right now from all the SEC fans because they're we're the best conference. But when it comes down to it, right? If you take away Florida, you take away Kentucky,
okay,
they don't even stand close to any of the other conferences. The Big Ten and the ACC.
You talking about history-wise?
History-wise.
Okay.
History, yes.
So when I say, don't get me wrong, I'm saying that, yes, they are surprised.
Yeah.
But when I'm not saying they play a weak schedule, because basketball is a whole lot different than football.
It is.
They got to play 30 games.
Yep.
So on average, they're playing like 2 games a week.
Yep.
Right?
And
they're on the road.
Yep.
And they're student athletes.
Yep.
So when you're looking at this stuff, right, you got this team or that team and this team, right? Who's going to be who? So, Black Santa, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm going to answer that quickly. Right? They had Nebraska. They are in the top 25, right?
Yep.
And they have only faced, I think, two ranked teams. Right? One of them being my Fighting the Line. Now they beat them by a basket or 3 points. Right?
That's the only ranked team.
And that's the only ranked team they played.
Yep.
And look, I don't get me wrong. I know I'm gonna get beat up. because I lived in Nebraska for a couple of years as an assignment. That is a football school.
It is.
And until they prove, they got to prove something different to me, they're going to still be a football school.
Well, I mean, they have the schedule to do it, right? I mean, looking at their current schedule, right? They got to play a lot of powerhouses. Michigan State's one of them.
They might have to play Michigan State twice.
Right. They got to play,
Michigan.
They're going to have to play Illinois again. So Purdue, so if Nebraska can sustain the fire, and they don't have to win all them games, right? But if they pull out a couple of victories against some of them ranked teams, then yeah, Nebraska will be a threat in the bracket or in the March Madness, right? But one thing we've learned about March Madness is anybody's a threat.
One of the things I'm sorry for cutting you off a little bit, Jay. My bad. The one thing they're not ranked, but they are a hard team to beat, especially when you got to go play them in Madison. And that's Wisconsin. That system they run, it is. I don't care if they unranked, they are a threat. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I was going to just piggyback off you were saying how some fans think that SEC basketball is the best conference. Well, where I'm from, they will fight you tooth and nail about the ACC.
Exactly.
ACC this, ACC that. I mean, I don't. No, Virginia is in the ACC, but they were never top 5 or anything like that. Every once in a while, they would jump up, win a championship or whatever, but it was always Duke, North Carolina. Let's be honest. Duke, North Carolina, you throw in a little bit of Maryland, and then they end up throwing in some of the other teams, end up joining the ACC.
Maryland is no longer in the ACC. They're in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
There you go.
And don't get me wrong, when you talk historically, you are absolutely correct. Historically, it's ACC, Big Ten, and Big East. Historically.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 top conferences.
Yep. And so my boy in DC used to always say, his name's Clarence Chambly. He used to say, the season doesn't start until the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Come get me when that challenge starts. Then I know that's when college basketball starts.
You know the funny part about the Big Ten ACC challenge is I hate it. I really do. And the reason why I hate it is it's 1 versus 1 from last year. 2 versus 2 from last year. Then this year comes around.
They're not the same.
Number 1 team is like 16. And that number 1 team might still be number 1. And now you got a blowout. And then it's like, oh, such conference is trash. They lost 30.
It doesn't give a true dictation of everything.
Now, if they was actually scheduling that game, like, hey, this week is the Big Ten ACC Challenge. We're going on based off of right now. You might have a different game.
Oh, yeah, it would have a different tournament. Nonetheless. So
don't get me wrong. Duke, North Carolina are the blue collars of college basketball. Look, they're always gonna have those teams. And I'm not trying to leave out Kansas in the Big 12, right?
Well, Kansas got some problems. I mean,
they got some injuries right now.
Well, no, they got some coaching issue too. Apparently, their assistant coach got arrested for DUI this past week. So we'll see how that affects.
Yeah. that could, but actually
have coaches be getting arrested.
Look, assistant coach is not the head coach.
You're not wrong about that, but a lot of people don't understand, right? The impact of assistant coaches, right? Good assistant coaches have a huge impact on the fundamentals, the game plan, and everything else, along with the coach.
That is true. But guess what? Still the coach.
No, I got you.
And so when they set those plays, a lot of times, guess who it go through? The assistant coach, I mean the head coach.
Yeah.
The head coach is the one calling the plays on the sideline.
Yeah.
And you know, but
My
you
goodness.
got all these other situations going too. You know, you got players. You know, basketball. You know, it is a little prima donna-ish. You know, you can't. You know, you got the schools with all the money that's doing what they're doing, right? But at the same time, you got these schools that don't exploit the money, who is doing it through recruiting and bringing players in. You got to remember, in college basketball, there's no 3-year rule.
Yeah.
They only got to do one and done.
Yeah.
So the question is what are you recruiting for this year?
To me, it makes it best. Basketball makes it so much tougher, right? Because you have to.
You speak up.
It makes it tougher, right? Because you have to recruit every year for that year.
Yes.
You can't necessarily just look at the future, right? Now, 1 or 2 players, by all means, not everybody you recruit, right, is going to be coming out after their freshman year, right? And you'll be lucky if everybody you recruit goes to the NBA, right? That's the Kentucky days are gone, especially because like me and Jay was talking about this Thursday or Friday.
The Kentucky days aren't gone. It just moved locations.
Well, I think with the NIL deal, it plays a factor.
Okay.
NIL deal is in college basketball.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up.
Go ahead.
You ready for this, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
So you said an NIL deal, right?
Yeah.
So you are Alabama University.
Okay.
I'm Duke.
Okay.
We talking basketball, not football.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Why not to Alabama? Who's made the Final Four the last 2 years?
Who's made the Final Four more than Duke? Not Alabama.
You talking about history wise?
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course
It's not.
not.
But Chris, you understand these kids today, man. They don't look at it like that anymore.
Well, actually, in basketball, it does. They do look at that right now. Because guess what? I got 12 players, right? I'm recruiting 6 guys that's in the top 100. I'm going to say 100. I'm going to say 100.
Okay.
I got 6 guys.
Yeah.
Right? I get all 6.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm going to lose my bench. Because now I just brought in 6 new guys. And guess what? Out of those 6, I guarantee you all 5, at least 5, all of them play the same position or different positions. And then I got 1 extra. Right?
Right.
Duke has done that year in, year out. North Carolina's done that year in, year out. Kansas has done that year in, year out.
Yeah.
When you go, if you go on these rosters, and I love to say, I love saying it, Illinois has done that now, year in, year out.
Okay.
Right? They get these one and dones or these 1-year transfer. You know, there was a year about 3-4 years ago, Illinois had the number one of the top ranking recruiting classes.
Right.
Now the NIL deal, right? This ain't like NFL, the college football where these guys getting, 4 or 5 million.
You're not wrong.
There's a lot less money in basketball. So guess what? There's no real ties to keep them in college.
Yeah, but some of these guys, regardless. So I think it's a balance, right? Because I've talked to some parents that their kids are getting recruited and everything, and it's made it tougher. The NIL deal has made it tougher for high schooler kids to get up to that level because the coaches are like, well, instead of me taking somebody straight out of high school, because coming out of high school, you have to be like, this kid is the future, right? If not, it's, hey, what transfer can I get out there? One, because they got knowledge and they've improved their skills over that time. So it's a balance.
Now here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mhm.
Not every school is living in the transfer portal.
Correct.
So I might find David Mason, number 1 point guard in high school, right? He wants to go to Alabama, but Alabama's focused on transfer portal.
Yep.
Right. Coach Chris come to Mr. David Mason's house, and I say, come play for me, and I gotta give you an opportunity to.
I got it, right? We're talking about
To grow.
hypotheticals, right?
But it's still a true statement. The question is, do you take the money or do you take the education? And when I say the education, not the school education, the basketball education.
So it depends on backgrounds, how they're raised, and everything else too.
Yeah, but
Because some people are just looking for a paycheck.
Yes, exactly, and that was where I was going. That's why I was leading you down that path. If you choose the money, right, and let's say you go and you one and done, right, and what do you think gonna happen next? You one and done. You ain't doing good. You gonna sit on somebody NBA bench for 2-3 years, and you never crack any time. Your career is gonna end immediately and going overseas.
Not necessarily. There's NBA players that have ridden the bench their whole careers.
Yeah, but they've had a role
and have been in the NBA for 15 years.
That is true. But look, guess what? That first contract, $5 million.
Yeah.
That last contract, a couple $100,000.
Right. But they still getting
They
paid.
getting paid. But guess what happens? Eventually, somebody will come in. You ain't gonna have a Donis Haslam.
I was gonna say that's the one I was thinking.
out of every, that hang around the league 20 years and just be a role player and able to stick with his team. Right. So I think we're gonna go ahead and take our little small commercial break. We'll be right back on Long Distance Playbook. are back to the Long Distance Playbook. Jay, let's have a conversation with our guest right here.
Okay, all right. He's our last guest of the year of 2025. Our guest today is a professional, constant professional. He was the 9th overall pick of the 1982 draft by the Atlanta Falcons. 3-time Pro Bowler. He played 7 hard years in Atlanta before going to Washington. He is a Washington legend. Everybody still talks about his game against the Philadelphia Eagles and the 1991, the last time the Washington team has won a Super Bowl. He is running back Gerald Riggs. Wow.
Absolutely.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
We can hear you.
All right. I always have to make sure. That before we get started on this technology these days,
Definitely
it's been
hear
a
you on
long.
that.
Things have changed a long time. I mean, everything is different now, and you say you get all this stuff done, and you get on here, and next thing you know, it's like, well, we can't hear you. Let's call us back later on, or call us. Let's everybody's. Hey, I'm here. That's all that matters.
And we definitely appreciate it.
Mhm.
That's David with the Atlanta, the Alabama hat on, and that's Chris over in Germany. I'm here in Italy.
All right. Good to meet you guys.
Good to meet you, sir.
Great to meet you too, sir. So I guess we'll just start at the beginning and work our way through. And I'll ask you a few questions, and then I'll send it over to Germany, and then they'll ask you a few, and we'll just run it like that. So,
Okay.
cool. All right. So getting started, you grew up in Louisiana. You end up going to Arizona State. How was that transition from being a teenager and leaving Louisiana and going to Arizona?
Well, let me give you a little correction on that, because that's the people know a little the fact that I was born in Louisiana. I was not raised there. I moved to Las Vegas at an early age, and that's pretty much where all my formidable years were spent, in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's the transition from Las Vegas to Arizona State was not one that was a big one, because I was all acclimated to the desert environment, the climate, and the heat and all that. So it was that was not the case. So you can tell people now that no, he was not raised in Louisiana. He was raised in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that correction, because we always want to make sure we get it right when we we're having
Yeah.
conversations and all that. So you were in that region. How were the fans at Arizona State with your football team while you were there?
Well, it was a lot of excitement when I came into Arizona State, because it was the first year officially of the Pac-10. Arizona State had come over from the WAC conference, Arizona State and University of Arizona, which made the Pacific Coast Conference the Pac-10. So a lot of excitement was going on at the time. Everybody was very happy to have those two teams to join the Pac-10. A couple of schools were in denial of having two more teams in, but we soon showed that we were worthy of being in the conference, much bigger conference, and of course at Arizona State now you look at it and it's like it's a small city, but they've done so much there to embrace not only just the Sun Devils, but the NFL as well.
Okay. All right. So you go into the Pac-10 or Pac-12, and
No.
you go ahead and you're starting getting a little buzz. when did you know that you were going to be a high, very, very high first round pick?
Didn't. I really didn't know. I did not realize that I was considered to be a top running back of that stature until probably, oh God, the first combine, because that was the year that the combines were implemented into the NFL, and it was the very first one. We had in Indianapolis, and I think it was in Tampa. I think that's where they had the first two. So my performance in the combine kind of catapulted me up to that status because there were some great running backs coming out that year. Barry Redding, uh, and of course, him being we Darren Nelson. But there were some great backs, tailbacks, and I was a fullback. So not still to this date, I don't think there's been a fullback to be chosen that high in the NFL draft. You can go back and check it and fact check it or whatnot to make sure, but I don't think that there's been another fullback to be chosen that high in the NFL draft.
Yeah, you don't hear, definitely you don't hear a fullback going in the first round, not necessarily the top 10, which you went.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty an amazing feat unto itself. So you go into the 82 and it's the strike season. So did the strike happen before the season, or was it happening as the season was going on? Can you tell us a little bit about being a rookie amidst all that turmoil?
You know what? It's very vague in my memory about it. I know that it was I believe it was the beginning of the season that we had that because or either it started a couple of games out into the season, but it was a very crazy time. I mean, coming into the NFL was not really understood all of what the strike was all about. We had always had the solidarity handshakes at midfield, and I wouldn't do it. I didn't understand what was going on until somebody helped me understand what was happening. I was one of those guys that I kind of walked my own beat and until they helped me understand at the time. I didn't go out for the solidarity handshake, so it took a little while for me to understand what was going on. But the strike was certainly a crazy time to come into the league as a young guy, to see what these guys were fighting for, what they were up against with the ownership and all these things, opening the books, and all. I didn't understand what was going on, so it was a very weird time. But thank goodness that we straightened it all out and got on with the season and got a chance to to play some football.
Yes, and for a lot of our viewers, they don't know that you were in the NFC West at the time because the divisions were aligned differently. So the Falcons played the NFC West, and you guys did a lot of battling with the Rams and the 49ers. My next question for you is about you guys were playing against the 49ers and in '83, and it was a Hail Mary that's legendary. Do you remember anything about that? Because you were actually you were on the play. You were there. So
yeah, I was. That's a really fond memory of my time there in Atlanta. We had Steve Bartkowski at quarterback at the time. Myself and William Andrews in the backfield, along with Lynn Kane. Billy White Shoes Johnson was out there. Alfred Jenkins and Jackson were out there. And I remember that I was in on that play. And I remember saying to Steve, it's like, hey, Steve, if nobody's coming on the blitz, I'm good. I'm getting downfield. I'm going to be a part of this play. And Steve looked over here and said, just get open, or just get downfield, whatever, because it's, I'm throwing it long. So as Billy Johnson catches the play, I'm there I was trying to drag him to make sure that he gets in the end zone. And I was flying going down the field, but Billy ends up catching the ball. He gets and it almost like he ended up short, but they gave us a touchdown, and it was a big win against San Francisco because we couldn't stand them jokers, man. I mean, still to this day, when I got into the Pro Bowl and got a chance to meet Joe Montana and all that, I just walked up to Joe and said, "Man, I hate you. I can't stand you because, because we had to face them twice a year, and a couple of other times we had an opportunity to beat them, but any time on the clock is too much time for Joe Montana." And they ended up beating us a couple of other times that when we really thought we had them.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's that's amazing stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it over to the guys in Germany.
Yeah.
Chris and David, go ahead, take it away.
You want me to get it?
Yeah, I got a good one, but
That's
I got some good ones.
I carry conversations with him all day. How you doing, sir? My name's Mason. I'm from Alabama, and I grew up a Falcons fan. I still am today. So
Okay.
one of my questions for you is, right, we've had a long list of running backs that come to our organization, but yet you are still the Atlanta Falcons' all-time leading rusher. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, I'm. Some people have painfully reminded me of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate it. To me, that's amazing, right? Because you've had your Jamal Andersons and everything else, right?
Right.
What being at that caliber, right? What made you go from Atlanta later on? I know you became a free agent, but then to Washington. Was there a deciding factor in that?
Well, let me tell you guys a quick story. Um, I was there in Atlanta in the days of the actually you can call it the emergence of Buckhead. Okay.
Okay.
Before it was starting to get Atlanta was starting to really get a lot of traction from people as being a hangout city, place to party, all that sort of stuff. And I was right there at that particular time. So me and a few of the guys were out at night, carousing around the night before the draft, and came in the next morning, and let's just say I, had to wear sunshades in the morning time, when the sun came in through my mirrors, through the windows. So, having a good time, and then the morning of the draft, to wake up, and it's probably it was so weird. I woke up about 20 minutes before the Falcons are about to pick. Um, my phone rings. At the time we didn't have cell phones and stuff at the time. Can you guys probably don't remember that. You guys might not have been born at the time. But so my phone rings, and it's Marion Campbell. Marion Campbell was a coach for us at the time. And Marion's, Gerald, we're gonna send you. We're gonna trade you with Washington because we feel like we can get some players in this draft to help our team and whatnot and all that. And I on the phone, you talk about sober up. I mean, everything just went out. It was like something from a movie or something. And I'm like, Coach, what do you mean? But I'm going to be traded. Yeah, Gerald, that's where it's going to be, and we feel like you'd be happy you're there, and you got this. And I didn't even get a chance to even get a full explanation about it, and hung up the phone. And at the time, they were still handing cards to the commissioner during the draft or whatnot. And Whitey Zimmerman, God bless his soul, and he's no longer with us, but he walked up and gave the card to the commissioner, and the trade was made, and right there in front of my eyes. So I'd never had any idea that I was going to be traded. I was not a free agent at the time. I still had another year, I think, on my contract and stuff with Atlanta, and that's pretty much how it happened. So going to Washington, kicking and screaming, about hey, I didn't see this coming, and had no idea about it. So it was not something that was I agreed upon, or I was looking forward to, or I wanted out of Atlanta at the time. That's just the way that it happened, and the rest is history.
Well, that's very unfortunate for my Falcon.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for them, but I after I got there, I was like, you know what, this This is what it's all about. It was a different mindset, different set, as far as the coaches were concerned. Players were just as good. I enjoyed playing with Atlanta. Believe me, the guys that I played there with, I loved it. Even though we didn't get over the hump with, while I was there, the guys that I played with, man, I really enjoyed them.
All right, Chris, what you got?
So a lot of people don't understand or don't know because they're too young or
Hmm.
never looked into it. I did a little research.
Including you guys. All right. You're just young. I wouldn't say you would understand it. You're just young. All right. Okay.
So in the 1982 class,
Hmm.
you was drafted with Jim McMahon, Mike Munchak, Marcus Allen,
Hmm.
Andre Tippett, Gordon
Oh yeah.
Anderson.
Hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Here's my question, because I know it wasn't listed, but I hope you answer this. Did you have a competitive relationship with Marcus Allen in college? Because y'all were in the same conference, correct?
Yes. Yes. Them being at USC and actually beating them the first year that we played them when they were number one in the nation. And nobody saw that coming, and they came down to Arizona State and we knocked them off. But to answer your question, did I have a competitive relationship with him at the time? No, because we were in two different positions. Um, had met Marcus on my recruiting trip to USC at the time. We both were there, being recruited at the same time. Uh, and me going to Arizona State, and I didn't realize just how how popular Marcus was at that time coming out of high school because I'm in there in Las Vegas and he's there in California. We were still considered two of the top prospects on the West Coast. But playing against them, it's kind of like the same relationship that you make when you or with like Dallas and Washington. Couldn't stand the Trojans. We hated them. We tried to every year. It was about knocking them off. We never got. It was never a blowout game between us. Always very very tough game. And Marcus being initially a fullback when he was there with Charles White because that's the system that John Robinson ran. All the running backs had to play both positions. So me just being a full time fullback, we were never really in competition with each other, per se, but it developed into a pretty special relationship over the years. I watched him. I'm sure he watched what I did. We were actually right there, neck and neck again, competing against each other with the Russian title. I believe it was 84 or 80. I think it was 84, maybe 85, somewhere around there. Marcus ended up getting a rusher title over me. I had 1,700 yards and he had 1,800 yards. He got that in the very last game of the season when they started handing the ball off to that sucker when he got off the bus. Just they made sure that he was going to get that title. So, but yeah, over the years we had a special relationship.
Glad to see that. Jay, did you want to talk about this picture that you got?
Yeah. So being a running back, what made you wear these pads? They're a little big.
Compared to what they have these days, yeah. I mean that you look like I got the kitchen sink and everything on me, but you know, man, being a fullback, again, I was used to blocking. I was used to, lead blocking for the tailbacks that I had in school. So that started, a long time ago. I don't, I think the first time I saw smaller pads was when I got to Atlanta and William had some pads on that were, they weren't as bulky and stuff. And I would look at him and it's like, man, how can you run in those? And he's looking at me, how can you run in those? But it's hey, just being the blocking guy, and I was very physical. So, having those pads on they did me some good. I can't say that now, maybe because I've had two shoulder surgeries, so maybe I should have gone to a smaller set of pads or whatever. But it was that was just the way it was back in the day. We didn't have all these fancy smancy companies out now that make helmets and thigh pads and all that sort of stuff. It was like you got what you felt comfortable with, and I always felt comfortable with them.
You had those Rydell specials like everybody else.
Whatever you want to call them, they was a lot of people didn't like to see them coming. I put it that way.
They were huge. They were huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
you go.
You were already in Atlanta by the time Bill Fralick showed up. Did you know from day one
Mm.
you wanted to run behind him a lot?
Um, well, I tell you what, there were times in the games that I found out that that's the side that I need to run on because we called him Bull. And man, I tell you what, one of the best offensive linemen that I've ever played with, that he played when he got there. We knew that he was a tough son of a gun. He showed that and he proved it. And nobody liked to get up against him. He was one of the toughest suckers I've ever seen on the offensive lineman. And he he had gotten um, Brett Miller was another was a tackle on the side of him. And I tell you what, there were times in games when David Archer would come and call a play, and I would say, you know what, check that sucker off. We're going to the right side. Because Bill Fralick and Brett Miller were two of the nastiest offensive linemen that I'd ever been around, and I say that respectively, because they were extremely tough. Love those guys. I really miss Bill. Um, I saw him at one of the reunions, before he passed, and we had a good time. We were supposed to play golf together. I think the next month or something like that, and that's when the kid got the news about him passing, and really, really, really a solid guy. Really missing.
Mm.
Okay. Sorry for the loss.
Mm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
I don't know.
I got one.
You got another one?
Yes. What was it like running behind the Hogs?
Man, those guys. I can only imagine what just the fun that Riggins had, and George Rogers, had running behind those guys in their younger days, because those guys were something else. Bostic, he was the smallest of the guys, but man, I tell you what, they when they went out. They commanded respect. It was smash mouth. Joe Gibbs is as kind-hearted a man as he is, and when you talk to him and you see how the man is, he's a strong man of faith and whatnot. Boy, football day on game day, it was all about just going out and doing some smash mouth football, and I think that's part of why they brought me in there, because that's the game that they played, and I was just a physical guy, running the ball. Those guys are something else. Very, very funny, hilarious, but man, they are some tough suckers, boy. Jacoby, that was, think he's, I think he's up for the senior Hall of Fame or whatnot, but those guys, only one who was not there when I got there was I think um, well, I think may have been gone, but yeah, Jacoby, Russ Grimm, Bostic, Slurette. He was new to the Hogs and stuff, with the last couple of years, me being there. But Donnie Warren, uh, one of the toughest offensive lines I've ever seen in football, and that probably ever will be.
Strong
Mm.
statement.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I'm from St. Louis, so I hated to see the Redskins come. The game gonna be
Yeah.
24-0,
Mhm.
because it was just a run game. We're gonna run it down your throat. Joe Gibbs
Yeah.
was
Mm.
a good
He
coach.
believed in it. He believed it.
I,
He would go out and tell the guys before the game. He was like, hit him right here, and that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna every play we're gonna go right there. So if the guys weren't ready on the other side to stand up to that, man, I felt sorry for him.
Well, speaking of that, so what was the toughest defense that you ever encountered during your playing time?
In my career,
Yeah.
wow, there was some great defenses, man. I mean, in that era of football, no nonsense, guys. You have to put um, Philadelphia up there. Philadelphia had one of the toughest defenses around. Chicago, of course. The '85 Bears. But playing against those New York teams with LT, Harry Carson, and the reasons. Those are some very tough defenses. But yeah. Surprisingly, Minnesota always had a pretty tough defense at the time too. Um, but those teams were the ones that you had to go out and you better bring a lunch pail because it was going to be physical. The running games were nobody backed off a running game as running backs. Back in that day, um, you had to bring a lunch pail. The Walter Paytons, the Earl Campbells. So Eric Dickerson, myself, even small little Joe Morris at the Giants. We weren't situational backs. We were in a lot. We were on pass plays. We were in on blitzes. We were in on goal line short yardage. We didn't come out a whole lot. There was not a lot of helmet tapping during our day.
God damn.
That's a good one there.
I know, right? Not a lot of helmets happen back in the
No.
day.
Putting the finger up.
You see a lot of it now.
Yeah, you see a lot of it now. I think they even go on a carry count. You start getting 20 carries. Then most of those guys are, hey, my day is done. We're starting to get too many carries on you, and these guys wear down or whatever. I don't get it, but this like I said, we were a different time, different era, different breed of back.
Yeah, you ain't gonna never lie about that. Them the good days.
Yeah, good old physical days. Yeah, you're right.
That's
Okay, go ahead.
All right, sir. So generally, we do some college football picks and some NFL picks for the week. Do you want to stick around for that?
I'm going to let you guys have that one. This is my day. I've got some things going on. It was a pleasure though sitting here talking with you guys, and look forward to maybe doing it again down the road. But I'm gonna let you guys have that one.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any charities that you want to put out for people to get knowledge of, maybe donate to or anything like that, sir?
Not at the time. I'm fully retired right now, and because of some conditions that I'm dealing with right now, I've kind of pulled away from a lot of stuff. I got one more surgery to get through, unfortunately with an ankle, but I'm pretty much kind of resting right now and just enjoying the time with my family and my wife and my daughter and grandbabies and all that stuff. So after this surgery, I'll be back up. I'm sure, and there are a lot of things that I'll be getting involved with. I'll have some other things going on next year.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Enjoy. Be blessed. And we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the show, sir.
We'll do it another time.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're going to take us a small commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are back. So I hate to do it this way because we're gonna kind of switch it just a little bit due to some comments that came in while Mr. Riggs was on there. Thank you to Mr. Riggs.
Absolutely.
Hopefully have a great and good surgery.
Yes.
So we're gonna get it. Instead of us going into college like we always do, we're gonna do NFL first. So Frank came in. He got some good statements. In this one, here we go. He wanted. I can't answer for Mr. Riggs, but I can answer on my point of view. Crosby's been hurt the last few games, and he's been playing, sticking it out. So he's shutting him down. They're not going to trade him. They're not trading Crosby. I don't think they're going to get anything close to what he's worth. So, sitting him out is not a bad idea. Give him a couple games off. They ain't making the playoffs, and so it's not here nor there.
I don't know why we put the 49ers.
So
you put a hat.
I put a hat on just because I think Chris is capping over there. So I'm gonna put my cap on.
You got to raise your head down. All I see is red.
So
okay.
So basically, he was saying that he didn't think that Crosby would be traded. I'm going to say, if Parsons can get traded, Crosby can get traded.
We talking about totally too dysfunctional front office.
And the Raiders aren't dysfunctional?
I just said we're talking about two totally dysfunctional front offices.
And Dallas was dysfunctional too.
I think so. Too.
Yeah. So to me,
I agree with you.
I think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to trade him.
I don't think so. I don't think so. They're not going to get what they're not going to get the. They ain't going to get the bag that Dallas received for Crosby. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. He's too old.
How old is Crosby?
You ain't getting no first rounder for Crosby.
Crosby's like 29, right? 28, 29?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So to me, they can get two picks for him. I think they get 2 picks for him. Maybe not number 1, but they can get 2 picks for him. And unload his salary too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Why? What, Frank? What you mean by why not? Why you don't think he's gonna get? They're gonna get a first rounder? I'll answer that. Age, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. So. Since we're going to start with NFL.
All right, so since we're going to start with NFL, we're going to go ahead and bring up NFL. Look at that. Chris and Jeff did not have so good of a week.
We went 50-50.
Our guest, Mr. Ricky Ellison, went 3-1.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Hey, Jay, we locked that in, didn't we?
6-2.
Yeah, 7-1. So now, if you look at the overall, Chris is now tied for the lead.
Oh no! I've been tied for the lead.
No.
I've been in the lead.
You've been in the lead.
So that means
I'm tied for the lead.
You caught me. I
caught you. Yes.
I didn't catch you. You caught me.
You're right. I finally caught you. I'm back in this. All right. Jay, we got a little more work for you, but we'll get there.
Hey, he's going in reverse until this week. Couldn't get out of reverse.
I'm right where I need to be.
No.
All right. With that. So here's the current playoff picture, right? It's going to change a little bit over the weekend, right?
It's going to change a lot over the weekend.
It is. So just take a look at it, right? San Francisco is looking to get in there. The Rams are too. The Bears, the Packers, the Eagles, right? So these are the teams that are right now looking to in there. The seating might change a little bit. We'll see. It all depends on the games that happen today, right?
Yeah, but we had games that happened already.
We have. So, but with that, right? We want to talk about some of these games. Like I don't know, the Cowboys and Commanders.
Oh my God! No, you don't need to talk about it. Let's go.
It wound up being a good game.
Next.
All right. Dallas got the win.
Next.
And then one team has completely missed out. But I think they played a solid defensive team this week, and that was the Lions at the Vikings.
Actually, they played a defensively solid game. The Vikings just came with that ooh-wee on defense.
Right?
Every time it was third and long, he got hit.
Yeah.
There was nothing he could do.
It wasn't even like, hey, I'm beating my guy and getting the sack. He got free rushers that was killing him.
There was times
it was something that they saw on film that they took advantage of, and they make an adjustment to it.
Yeah.
You know, hey,
I know he was making the golf sandwich.
Yeah, I know Gibbs is a dynamic back, but when it's third and long, he don't block. They send him out in the pattern.
Yeah,
and it's too many people.
No, to me, it just seemed like for some reason Detroit Lions and offensive coordinator, because old boy Campbell took over the offensive play calling. It looked like they had never seen a Brian Flores defense before. It looked like they had nothing for their blitz packages. They had nothing for their show blitz dropping out. It was just a clinic, a defensive clinic. It was. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
they took care of. They literally took care of that young quarterback. He didn't make too many mistakes.
Nope.
He kept them in the game, and he put points up that they needed to win that game.
Yep.
So, shout out to the defense, man. My Minnesota defense was on the game today.
And I don't think anybody, as an NFL fan, I don't think anybody thought Minnesota really had a chance. I thought we all thought
that
Detroit was going to come in and secure their playoff spot, and now they're done.
Easy.
There is no more Detroit Lions for the playoffs this season.
All right.
So,
what was the other game?
All right. So the last game
on that bracket where it says in the hunt, there is no more hunt.
Nope.
And that dog quit.
And then the last game for Christmas was the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now, here's my assessment on that game.
Go ahead.
You had a quarterback who's never, ever taken a live snap in the game, in the actual game that counts. And he kept them in the game.
Okay.
Right? And that just shows you that good preparation, teaching him not to make bad throws.
Yeah.
Stay in the game. The defense just gave out that last drive. That's number one. I think that game was theirs to have. Because they had Bo Nix locked up.
Yeah.
And now you got Denver, who's they still got a hard road still.
Yeah.
And look, let's say Justin Herbert makes it to the next week unhurt.
Okay.
We gonna have us a little shootout because I'm telling you, teams just figured out how to move the ball on them.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, but I think the Denver and Kansas City game was more of it was good for Bo Nix, but I think Kansas City's just, with Patrick Mahomes injured. Gardner Minshew he's also out, right? So Kansas City was on the third string quarterback.
Yeah, practice.
And that's hard to do,
But they stayed in the game.
Right. And nobody knows officially. We'll obviously keep our ear to the waves and everything, right? But nobody knows anything official until he announces it. Possibly Travis Kelce's last game at Kansas City at home. Not suiting up because he's got one more week, but who knows, right?
I don't think he's going to retire. I think he wants to make up from this year.
Okay.
And show that he's still dominant. And then he get his buddy back.
Yeah.
The Chiefs had a very injury riddled season.
They did.
It started off with Ray Rice being suspended. Then the injuries came. But they tried to battle through. There was an interesting note that in close games they was winning them last year, they wasn't winning them this year.
Right.
And it's funny that Denver is now winning the close games. But I'm just saying, tell the truth. Hey, people are starting to figure out that defense. Yeah. It's not the offense, it's the defense. That's what people had to figure out. Offense, all it is, hey, I got to make the play.
Yeah.
On defense. But now that people are starting to be able to move the ball on that offense, that defense, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Jay, what's your thoughts?
Well, to me, I think it was a classic trap game for the Broncos, knowing that what's coming down next week. Can we get out of this game without any injuries, major injuries? Because, they've had a few injuries with their running backs this year. Yeah. And just getting out of Kansas City with a win, keeping face with, the Chargers coming up this week. Now they put pressure on the Chargers to have to win this week. And, Kansas City, if you look at Andy Reid, professional. He could have, packed it in. It's Christmas time. He could have just, I'm gonna go chill with the family. I'm just gonna call some generic plays and get the hell out of here. But you know what? He kept it close. The system ran itself. It was on cruise control, so to speak. And he kept it. He gave us a delightful game. It wasn't the clunker that we thought it was going to be because of all these backup quarterbacks not playing. So you had Minnesota actually surprise everybody on Christmas. You had Kansas City come in and do their thing and make it competitive. And you had Washington come in with their third stringer who has played for 45 teams in his career. So these, there's something to be said about being professional and doing your job and doing the best that you can. And I think we saw that Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So, done recapping.
Yes.
We enjoyed it. Thank you for giving us football on Christmas Day. But now, let's make our picks for the week. You ready, gentlemen? So, our first game up. Huh? Ready. We have the Texans at the Chargers. This is going to be a good one. Just talking about these teams trying to figure out some defenses, right? I'm going to go ahead and say.
I'm the low man in the NFL right now, so I'll go ahead and I'll put my pick out there just so everybody doesn't think that I'm going to copy the top guys. I got the Chargers at home. I think Houston has played well, but I know the Chargers saw what happened last night or the day before, and they know they have to win if they want any chance of taking the NFC West.
Okay. I like it.
I The Texans.
Oh, he's got the Texans.
The Chargers, both of
Thank
their
you.
tackles are backups. These ain't
Mhm.
Joe Alt ain't finna come off the IR today to come and block. I got Texans. That defense is all they got to do is manage the game. How Gerald Riggs said, look at my face. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Run it.
Yeah. But see, the Texans have had a lot of issues on offense this season. And I mean, I'm splitting with Jay.
I'm going back in the lead by myself, baby.
On this.
Going back in the lead by myself. What did Jeff send in? What was Jeff?
Absolutely. Jeff did pick the Texans.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so next pick. Ravens at the Packers. He just says Packers. All right.
Chris, you got the.
He said he's taking the Packers.
Love is out. There's no
Love is
love.
out.
There's no love.
And Lamar Jackson is out too.
So whose backup is better? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis?
I'd say Malik Willis is the better backup.
Don't get me wrong. Tyler Huntley is not a bad backup.
He's not. But I think the Ravens isn't the quarterback problem. I think, and we've all said it on the show, it's a Derrick Henry problem, and it's an offensive coordinator not using Derrick Henry. Yeah. That's the problem. It's not because Derrick Henry. He's not the problem. It's when you don't give him the ball.
You can't shorten the game.
Right? So Derrick Henry gives you more options. If the offensive coordinator comes out of his realm and gives Derrick Henry 20 to 30 touches this week, then the Ravens win. But I don't see that all of a sudden happening. I'm taking the Packers.
And where is this game being played?
Green Bay.
Whew. I know it's not the old Lambeau, but
that is the old Lambeau field. I mean, they ain't got no new field.
They got a new one? You need to tell me.
You tell me about it.
I'm saying it's not the old Lambeau mystique. It's not the frozen tundra.
The
it is the frozen tundra. It's December.
Still a change.
But I have no faith in the Ravens. I have no faith in Harbaugh. And I know I've never said this on the show before, but I think Harbaugh might lose his job soon.
Uh-oh.
Heard it from me.
There it is. So you're taking the Packers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers.
All right. And Jeff also took the Packers. So everybody's taking them. All right. Next game. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Do the Cleveland Browns play spoiler and keep them closer?
Well, because look, here's the funny part, right?
Yeah.
Baltimore loses.
Yep.
I think Pittsburgh gets in automatically.
Yep.
Right. Also, I think Garrett breaks the record. He's going to run him down.
Okay.
He's going to get the old man.
Okay. So his record breaking will be a sack on Aaron Rodgers. That would be fitting.
Yeah.
And they used to play for the Packers, and Strahan got the record against the Packer. Brett Favre. Very interesting.
And so I'm going with Steelers.
I think that's smart.
I think they put them away today. Tomlin makes the playoffs. Lose in the first round.
So I'm gonna go down.
It's in Cleveland.
They're in Cleveland. There's a growing trend, and I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention. Pay attention, guys. When you have these divisional games, the team that's home, a lot of times they have a good chance of beating their rival. And Cleveland and Pittsburgh don't like each other. And with that defense, Sanders is going to make a few plays. And who knows, without DK Metcalf, they don't have Metcalf this game because he's suspended.
Right. Yep.
He's
So this is a game.
suspended next.
So I got Cleveland. I'm going with Cleveland this game. Cleveland for the upset.
Yep, I'm definitely. He ain't catching up.
This guy. Me, look. So I think we can all agree, right? TJ Watt's still recovered, so he's not playing. But regardless, I think the Cleveland's defense has been solid, right? We can't argue that. It's been the offensive side that's been questionable. Right?
Actually, the offense has been doing its thing.
I'm saying for the longest period.
Yeah.
Right? Like at the beginning of the season, we were like, boom, Cleveland's defense is solid, but the offense was struggling, right? But that offense is clicking.
Now you got to remember,
It took them a couple of quarterbacks.
Judkins is out.
Judkins is out.
No, I understand that. But who's more mobile? Is Sanders or Rodgers?
Well, guess what? I'll give you that question. But Shador, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing him. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I love his play. I love how he gives a breath of fresh air to a team that has not had a breath in a while.
Got it.
But I don't think just because TJ Watt is out, you got to remember the kid that's replacing him.
Yep.
Is good.
Can't argue that.
And then they got Highsmith on the other side.
All right.
So this is going to probably be a low-scoring game. But, the old man got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah. But I think Shador does what he can to get it done. He's got nothing to lose. Pittsburgh does.
And Mike Tomlin has made his quota of 9 wins for the season. So it's not Mike.
And as long as Pittsburgh makes the playoffs, they're good.
Yes. So it's not Mike Tomlin going to see the day. It's Omar Epps.
We have a new leader, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm definitely I should win this.
All right. So next we got the Jags at the Colts.
Jaguars.
Okay.
Who did Jeff pick? Who did Jeff pick?
Oh, in the last game? Jeff picked the Steelers.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah.
We and him in line, baby.
We got the Jags and the Colts. Chris said Jaguars. Jeff said Jaguars. Jay, you saying Jaguars?
Yes.
Go ahead and go against the trend.
You saying Jaguars?
Yeah, go ahead and go against the trend.
Look, I've been saying Jaguars all season, so I got to stay with Jaguars. This is the heart. As Daniel Jones was playing, this would have been a different game. But
are you sure you don't want Old Man Rivers? Old Man Rivers, he doing his thing. He threw for almost 300 yards last game.
In a loss.
Yeah, but he threw almost 300 yards. You sure, Mason?
Look. He's not looking bad on offense, but the Colts defense is looking like they're unraveling. So I'm doing the eye test. Right?
I know.
Next game.
Are you sure you don't want to take him?
No. Bucks at the Dolphins.
Who did Jeff pick?
I said Jeff picked Jags.
Okay. All right. Cool. Sorry.
Bucks at the Dolphins.
Why don't you go with Jeff pick first so he can catch up?
Bucks at the Dolphins. Jeff picked the Bucks. He's going with his hometown Buccaneers right now.
I'm going with the Bucks too.
Who's quarterbacking for the Dolphins?
Yours.
Oh, not mine. He's yours, not mine. I'll take Tampa.
I think we're all on the same page. We're all taking Tampa on this one. All right, our next game. Seattle Seahawks at the Carolina Panthers. Jeff took the Seahawks. Just so they're tracking.
Whew.
Me, I'm going to take the Seahawks.
I'll go ahead and go. My pop's home state. We're going to do the Carolina Shuffle. That's right. some of that Carolina barbecue. I got Carolina.
Oh, okay. So you definitely want a losing record.
So I want to put this in the win. Out there in the win. Carolina is undefeated against all the teams where they were underdog big.
Okay.
And guess what?
They're underdogs big.
They're underdogs big. And they won. They won games they ain't supposed to win.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. And my team was one of those games.
Okay.
I think Carolina pulls off another win.
Oh, he said Carolina.
I was trying to coax you into saying Seahawks so I can be the only one and pad my lead a little bit.
So, sorry. Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Buffalo Bills. It's in Buffalo.
I'll go first. Buffalo.
Okay. Well, Jeff also picked Buffalo. This has. Go ahead.
I'm not going to trust that foot from the quarterback in Buffalo. Allen, he's not going to be top notch today. I got Philly, and I got Philly.
Bill, you see this, right?
Yeah, I got you.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's about how many players is out on their defense. Just saying.
I don't think it's going to. Philadelphia's
It's in
going to do it.
Buffalo. Look, this game right here is going to determine if Philly's serious or not. Against playoff competition. So I'm gonna actually have to go with the Bills because I don't think Philly is right there yet.
That offense still scares me.
We have Chicago Bears at somebody's 49ers.
Woo!
It's in San Francisco. So who do you take? Jeff took the 49ers, just so you're tracking. Jay, I think you said you're going opposite.
I am not going Oppo. I'm going San Francisco.
I gotta go with the 49ers. Sorry, Chris. I know you can't say their name if you're gonna go for them. So
up north.
Okay. He's going for the 49ers as well. Our last NFL game, we have the Rams at the Falcons.
Who's how?
Well, it's in
Rams
Atlanta.
how?
It's in Atlanta.
We moving. Hey, we moving so far east.
Where it was
Southeast.
east, nothing.
Southeast.
However, Jeff has said the Rams. Who do you think?
Welcome to Atlanta. That's right.
You taking the Falcons?
I'm definitely getting the lead on you.
Hold on. You taking the Falcons?
Dirty Birds. Gerald Riggs approves my message. There you go. This message has
Look,
been
I'm
approved.
a Falcons fan. I'm going for the Rams.
All right. They just whipped up on Tampa.
Obviously, you're going for the Rams, correct, sir?
Who's house?
All right. I'm just making sure. All right. We're going to jump real quick to college. Do we have enough time?
Yes, let's get it.
Okay. Here's the current bracket. All right. Those teams are lined up, ready to go. We'll talk about it in a minute. Here's our records from last week. Ooh, everybody went 2-1 because we all picked the same team.
Yeah.
So, however, Jay, that means you're one game ahead of Chris, a couple games ahead of myself. So, with that,
Daddy's home.
we have in the Cotton Bowl, we have Miami at Ohio State. Jay, your Hurricanes have lasted this far. Do they keep going?
No, the Ohio State wins.
Okay. Jeff also said Ohio State. So, I'm going to say Ohio State. Chris?
Do I need to even ask?
Uh,
Do I need to state it?
yes, please.
Ohio State.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
You don't think Ohio State's going to miss 5 field goals? All right, go ahead, man.
Next game, Oregon versus Texas Tech. This is the Orange Bowl. All right. Jeff has said Texas Tech.
Ooh. Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
So I'm not going to argue with Jeff.
Ooh.
I think Texas Tech over
Ooh.
Oregon.
Look, come on, Jay.
What you
I
got?
got Texas Tech. I got Texas Tech.
Ooh, wee. He's doing that because I think you're picking Oregon.
Yes.
All right, I get to build my lead up.
No, I'm about to catch you.
We'll see. Next game,
What you
Alabama
know?
versus Indiana. Alabama versus Indiana. It's the Rose Bowl.
I got Indiana.
Ooh, wee. Look, I went against my team last week, right? And they proved to me that they could finally beat Oklahoma. Guess what, gentlemen? We're the most dangerous team in the playoffs. You better look out. Give me that Roll Tide.
Yeah, you going back. You might catch Jeff. Or Jeff might catch you.
Who you go for? Indiana then. I'm aloned up. Ole Miss versus Georgia. Does Ole Miss prove that they're worthy and
Bulldogs.
beat Georgia? No? You don't think so?
Ho, ho,
Jeff
ho,
said
ho,
Georgia.
ho, 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 ho.
You going Georgia as well?
Georgia.
Well, I think this is the matchup a lot of people wanted to see, but I don't think it's the exact matchup now since Lane Kiffin's gone. Because it would be a little bit
They
different.
had a good run.
They did. But yeah, I'm going with Georgia on this one as well.
And
All
Jeff
right.
had Georgia?
Yep, Jeff had Georgia. All right, so that's our picks for the week. Chris,
And you thought we weren't going to make it.
we pushed it.
And look, he threw this. So before we go, we got a couple minutes. He threw this banner up that says NFL.
Oh, my bad.
We've been talking college football for the last 15 minutes. And that's why I told him he should not have no technology in his hands.
My bad.
Yeah.
I do multiple things.
Look, I'm glad. Frank, where you from in the U.S.? Because you throwing up that bad thing, man. I made money last week off Alabama.
Oh, we're going to post that one. You post that comment.
So I really want to know where you're from before we sign out. Come on, give me that.
You just want to hear from you.
I'm waiting on you, Frank.
That's all right. We'll get it from him while you start to close out.
Right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Long Distance Playbook. My name is Chris Hunt. This is my man Mace, and that is Jay in Italy. Shout out to Jeff, who is visiting family right now for the holidays. He's a little chilly right now because he is up north.
Yeah,
He ain't in Tampa where it's nice and warm. Be blessed. Enjoy your holiday. Merry Christmas and have a happy, happy New Year. Do it safe and enjoy the time with your family. We are out of here in about 3 minutes, but I'm still waiting for you, Frank. And if you
Hey, while
have
we're waiting for Frank, while we're waiting for Frank, I want to thank all the guests that came through in 2025. Reagan Jefferson, Ken Harvey, Freddie Coleman, Icky Shuffle, Icky Woods himself, Tyrone Drakeford, Carl Lee, Ricky Ellison, and of course, our last guest that we just had today, Gerald Riggs. And moving forward, we want to definitely have more professionals come through. This is a football season, but we're going to get into baseball, basketball. We're going to get through all that in 2026. So we want to have the best show for you guys moving forward. So if you guys want any guests, you know anybody that might want to step by and do the show with us, please let us know. Chris and David, just let any of us know, and we'll try to get as many people on as possible, because we want to definitely make this show as the best possible show for you. So, all right, Chris, back to you.
As I was rudely interrupted, Frank still has not replied. And I'm just gonna keep poking the bear. Wait till next year. I'm gonna poke him again, right? Especially after that game.
We'll see.
If you're a veteran, you have a veteran-owned business, and would like to get some advertisement, please shoot us an email at longdistanceplaybook@gmail.com. We check it every day, all day, and we are always looking. Thank you for helping us build, and don't forget to tell friends about us. We're here to have fun, enjoy, and give you a different insight on sports, and watch us debate. And you can jump in the debates too with comments. Be blessed. Oh, now you want no? I'm waiting on this. Where are you from?
Where are you from, Frank?
I'm waiting on this. The show will go into overtime waiting on this statement. Talking about Alabama beats IU. This ain't no Nick Saban Alabama.
But this is the first time they play, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I was kind of torn in between, right? Because I am an Alabama fan. My mom's from Indiana, so her family is. So, but I had to go with my Roll Tide.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Come on, Frank.
Frank is holding out.
I ain't that delayed that long.
No, you're good.
Hold on a second.
30 seconds.
We got time.
Come on, Frank.
Come on, Frank. Once again, though, enjoy your football. Enjoy your Christmas weekend, and get ready, because it's going to be some football tonight. NFL and college. We didn't talk about all the games. He's not going to chime in on time. We're not going to make it. I'm going to give him a second.
I know Frank, and Frank is from Virginia, but now lives in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to put that out there.
Oh, okay. So you answered this question for him. There it is. Thank you, Frank. Now I understand why you got it wrong. I understand why you got it wrong now.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.